Today we're traveling back to the Baltics and to the last of the three brothers, Latvia. Now let's be fair, this country does not make the headlines often, but we're about to change that, as Latvia is just packed with rich history and apparently it's the birthplace of jeans, home of the first ever Christmas tree, and also where you can choose to spend a night in jail. So, first order of business, where can we find this underrated and over-interestingly country? Well, it's nestled in northeastern Europe, right in the middle of their two brothers. Estonia sits to the north and Lithuania down south. To the east, they border both Russia and Belarus. Latvia is a fairly small country with about 64,000 square kilometers of landmass, which as a comparison is about half the size of the US state of Georgia. And with that size, Latvia ranks in at the 125th spot in the world in terms of area. The population number also places Latvia on the lower side of the world list. With roughly 1.9 million people, this country has about a fifth of the average US state population. And to give even more perspective to it, that's less than the population of the city of Houston, Texas. And as with most nations with a bit lower population, most of that population lives in one of a few major cities. And in Latvia's case, Riga, which is the nation's capital, is home to almost half of the entire population. The city sits on the coast of the Gulf of Riga and is around 300 square kilometers in size. And it's a beautiful place with a lot of old buildings still remaining. In fact, Riga's Old Town is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, which basically means that it's a place of outstanding universal value. And the city was also named the European Capital of Culture back in 2014. The country's second largest city, Daugavpils, holds roughly 100,000 people, and that city does also hold distinct imprints of Latvia's vibrant history, with its medieval castles and Soviet-era architecture. The third and fourth largest cities are Liepāja and Jelgava, home to about 80,000 and 60,000 people respectively. In terms of landscape, Latvia is pretty similar to the other Baltic nations, a flat country with the highest point reaching just 312 meters. However, it's a beautiful country with lush forests, over 3,000 lakes and 12,000 rivers. The longest and most famous one, the Daugava River, stretches over 1,000 kilometers and travels from Russia through Belarus and then empties into the Gulf of Riga. And that the capital sits on the banks of this river is no coincidence, as it has played a big part in the country's history and made Riga a real trading center between different civilizations. In 2004, Latvia joined both NATO and the European Union, and in 2014, they started using the euro as its currency. Today, Latvia is a democratic republic and a high-income, advanced economy with its GDP per capita rapidly catching up to Western standards.